and I'm a junior at the University of San Diego. I am majoring in political science, minoring in leadership studies, and PPE policy. So, my top three things about USD is the opportunities to get involved on campus. Also, the connections to the professors. I know one of you guys asked like what that's like, so we'll get into that later. And also, we have opportunities to travel a lot off campus, which unfortunately, due to COVID, that's not happening, but whatever. I chose USD because of its environment, and CVLCC is a pretty small school, and USD really reminded me of that, so that was really cool. I also got really good financial aid because USD is freaking expensive, and but they do take care of their students that are low income, so I gotta give them props to that. What I don't like about USD though is definitely the culture and just this administration they got going on. But we'll get into that later if that's something that you guys want to know about. But yeah, I'll pass it over to Paul.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm a math computer science major at UCSD. And what made me choose UCSD was, well, it was one of my topics, um, and like, uh, and it was really good for my major. So my major at the time was neurobio, um, and UCSD is known for engineering, computer science, and sciences. So for biology, it was pretty good. So I went there, and also I'm a local, so San Diego, it's a good pick for that. You can always commute to like Monique said, like a UC is kind of expensive, but it doesn't have to be. Like um, I think like this year, if I commute, like it costs nothing for me. So there's that too.
Awesome. 2019? We got a few of y'all in here. Who's gonna go first?
I can go. Hi, everybody. My name is Alexa, class of 2019, representing. I'm currently a sophomore at UC Berkeley. My major is linguistics. I'm sorry, my Google speaker went off. My major is linguistics with a minor in Hispanic languages, linguistics, and bilingualism. And what was the second question? Oopsies. Was that it? No.
It is.
Oh, what made you choose the college you're at? I honestly didn't think at all that I was going to get into UC Berkeley. The only reason I applied was one, because a few people told me that I couldn't make it in and I wanted to prove them wrong. And also just because it's like I would kind of daydream sometimes about being accepted in there, and I was like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna regret it if I don't apply. I'd rather like not get in and know that I didn't than just like live with that what if. But what made me choose it was definitely the financial aid package. I applied to a lot of private schools. I applied to like 33 schools in general, which I know try hard. But really it was just because they had free application waivers, so I just took them. A lot of them were privates, and it was like you either pay 9,000 a year with UC Berkeley's with my financial aid package, or like 20,000 at a private school in Oregon. So I decided to go with the cheaper option, and also it's a good school. The three things that I enjoy about the school, definitely the location. UC Berkeley's in the Bay Area. You have you're like a 10-minute bus ride from Oakland, 5-minute bus ride from Emeryville. There's San Francisco just across the bay. It's a really cool area just to be in, and there's a lot of things that are, up and coming and happening in that area, and being in the middle of it is really something special. The community also, the fact that it's such a big school allows you to really pick the community that you are a part of, and there's a lot of different options for you. And you can be part of more than one community. Obviously, there's so many different clubs and so many different interests that bring people together, which I think is really nice. And I also like the fact that we're on the semester system. I know some people like there's a debate between the quarter and the semester, but I frankly love the semester system. I would much rather prefer it than the quarter, and it's great that UC Berkeley, I think Merced does it as well, right? The semester. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's, oh, and then what I don't like, I think the distance is like, if I were in UCLA, you could probably go home for the weekend, but it's like a 8-hour drive up there, so it's not really worth it. And then you could do a plane, which is like 40 minutes to an hour, but they're kind of pricey, so they're not great. Price of housing also is very expensive. This last year it was 19,000 a year to live on campus. And then this year I was going to pay 14,000, but it's still very pricey whether you live on campus or off campus. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go next. I don't know who wants to go next. Sorry for my bad lighting too. Like I have really bad lighting, but wait, you guys can hear me though. Good, right? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So hey guys, my name is Lucette. I am a second year at San Diego State, majoring in kinesiology with an emphasis in physical therapy. What is the question? Why I picked this school, it was because it was just kind of the right choice for me and my family. I still play like a large role in my family, and like I have to contribute a lot of time, and which I enjoy, not that like, it's a good thing, but yeah, and it was also the right financial decision, especially because I got a lot of financial aid, and I also got into the EOP program, which was a big help. And let me see. The three things that I like about SDSU would be that it's super diverse. Like there is a large like handful of white students, but there's also other large handfuls of like people of color. And another good thing about SDSU is that it's a really good campus. I really enjoy the Spanish theme to it, and it's really not that big either. I think you can like get across the school like in 10 minutes maybe, so it's not that bad. And the third thing would probably be SDSU has like a sense of community basically. They have the EOP program, and then I also had to take a course which was just for commuters, and so that was really helpful. I got to meet a lot of people that were commuting like me, and I met a bunch that were also from Chula Vista, so that was really cool. The thing I don't like about SDSU would probably be commuting, just because I have to wake up really early, sometimes like at 4:50, so that was really, really hard. But I think what's super convenient is the trolley there. Like it lands like right in campus, so that's super convenient too. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll go. Hi, my name is Isabella. I'm going to Cal Poly, and my major is architectural engineering with an emphasis in structures. So I chose Cal Poly because it was one of the best like schools that accepted me, and because they have like a really good program for my major, and I just like, I don't know, I really feel that I connected to the school in a certain way. And what I like about Cal Poly is like the place. There's like a lot of trees, and it's like really peaceful. And literally everyone helps each other. I was like surprised by the amount of like help that I was receiving like through the whole year. And they have a lot of resources and a lot of like opportunities to get an internship. And what I don't like, so it's not that much of like diversity in the school. We're actually, my generation was the most diverse of all the poly students, and I haven't actually, so there's a lot of people from San Diego, but they're like from the north part. There's like white people. So I haven't met anyone that is like from San Diego and Tijuana. I actually met people from Mexicali, but I'm like, oh, you're from Mexicali. And then I met another guy from Mexicali. I'm like, when am I going to meet someone from TJ? But that's okay. And I don't like the food, probably because I'm really Mexican and they don't have like a really good experience with the Mexican food. So yeah.
That's awesome. 20. Yeah, you're the last.
Does that
one.
mean I'm
Go for it.
next?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So I'm Francisco. I'm class of 2019. I'm a sophomore in college right now. I majored in economics, but I think I might minor in data science, or I might double major at UCSD. And why did I choose that college? Because it was the highest ranked. I mean, prestige pretty much for the paper. The top 2 things I enjoy about UCSD, yeah, the beach is right there. It's like 5 minutes away walking. Their econ program is actually pretty good, so that's something I looked into. And the teachers there are really nice, or at least the ones that I've run into are really nice. And one thing I don't enjoy about my school would be, I would say, the college system. How there's multiple different colleges, because it's difficult for incoming students to choose like which college to get into, because it's like kind of weird and out of whack. Like some it's like there's easy GEs, and others you have like just too many to do and don't relate to your major. So I mean, that's like a double-edged sword. So I mean, that's pretty much
Awesome. Thanks, Frankie. And lastly, class of 2020.
I think it's just me, right, Mr. Liu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so hi, I'm Edgardo. So I graduated last year, 2020, or this year, 2020. So obviously I'm a first-time freshman. I'm majoring in microbiome, but I'm probably going to end up in biomedical engineering. That's just what I'm really into, so that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm at Cal Poly SLO. What made me choose that college? Well, I guess Mr. Liu can attest to that. I had like 70% chance that I was like, I'm not going to public school. Public school's not for me. I'm going to a private school. Like I was dead set. But then after getting acceptances and after realizing like, okay, my options are more limited than I thought, I was in between Syracuse University and Cal Poly SLO, which are both like really, really good schools. But I felt like it resonated more with the programs that they offered at Cal Poly than I did with something at Syracuse. And the programs at Cal Poly and like all the resources they just blew out the water out of like everything that they had at Syracuse. And I guess I also have to talk about like the 3 things that I most enjoyed about my school. So far, the coolest stuff that I've had so far, I'm a part of the honors program, so I've had the hands-on experience with like the really small classes. So like at least for my comms course right now, people in a class, which is usually like a big lecture hall full of like hundreds of students, and it's just like 20 of us during like one of like the most popular classes during the year, which is really, really cool, and the professor's awesome. Another really cool thing is like even though it is virtual, they are kind of implementing the learn by doing philosophy, which is like a lot of hands-on work, a lot of experiences with the professors, like I said. Another thing I guess would be like the location, but this is also like my con to the school, which is like it's beautiful. It's absolutely awesome. The resources that they have on campus are awesome. Like the facilities and everything are great. But it's also kind of in the middle of nowhere. So like it's like 2 hours from like major civilization. It's kind of like this really small town, but it's pretty close to San Fran and it's pretty close to LA. So yeah, and that's it.
Awesome. Thanks. So yeah, quick introduction and, everyone from Imara, class of 2016 at CVLCC. to Edgardo, who graduated literally months ago. You know, state schools, private schools, people that chose state over private, people that chose private over state. And so we have a lot of experiences here. And I just want to, throw out there, as we start to look at this idea of safe, target, and reach schools. And this is a question that I guess I'm asking those, our alumni. Like, how would you figure out your list? Did you create a list? Was your list too short, too big? Just throw out some of your experiences there. That'd be awesome.
I personally think like this is the one question I have like amazing knowledge as to like how I can answer this. I applied to like 12 schools, 12, something like that. I applied to a lot of really, really, really competitive universities, like less than 10% acceptance rate and stuff like that. And I was deferred at Cornell. So I was like, my last little bit of hope, I was like, oh, I'm going to get in. Like, I might get in. And I was very surprised because I had put so much hope into like this one university and put all my dreams into this one thing that I was rejected. And it was kind of like a reality check. And I was like, okay, every school that's like under 20% to 15% acceptance rate is a dream school to anyone. No matter what it is, there just could be that one thing that they don't like about you, or that one thing that makes you stand out. They love you. It's just a really big gamble. So I would say everything is attainable, and every school is very different. And there's could be that one school that like just loves you, and or something like a Berkeley or a UCLA, which are very competitive. But it really just is a gamble at the end of the day, and you really have to take that into consideration before you just put all your hopes and dreams into one university like I did, and have it all come crashing down like when you get your acceptances. But hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys. Hopefully it's like the best day of your life and you get accepted into the best university that you wanted to. Yeah.
That's awesome. And Edgardo, just to puff my chest a little bit. So what was the advice that I gave you?
I just remember you saying like, yo, chill, apply to all the universities that you can and apply to the UCs. And I was like, I'm not applying to UCs. UCs suck. I hate UCs. And I didn't apply to UC. And I'm not saying that I regret it, but I wish I would have like at least like thrown my hat into the UC ring just to give myself like more options for sure. But I guess that was like your advice, kind of like, don't put your hopes and dreams into one university. Like you're gonna regret it, and everyone told me that, and I regret it.
Cool. But you're in a good place now, so that's awesome. Anyone else? Safe, target, reach. Maybe we'll go like 2 to 3 answers per, so we're not spending too much time on one question. So, safe, target, reach. How'd you guys end up where you're at? If that question.
Yeah, I wanted to tackle
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So for me, I think everybody's unique, right? But like for me, it was a really unique situation because I always dreamed of going to UC Davis since I was in 7th grade. Literally, I like went home and I was like, yeah, like I'm going to UC Davis. And I told my parents and they're like, oh, okay, like sure. And then that was like my dream all the way through high school. And I remember like Lou and all the professors, all the teachers, when they were there and they were like, are you getting in, and applying and everything. So I got in, but with labeling things as like safe or reach or what was the one? I don't know. Target, there you go. I didn't really have that. I just kind of also like piggyback on the question of applying to schools that have like similar majors or things that you like and things like that. That's one way where you can broaden it, because I was focused on pre-vet. So for me, UC Davis is the #1 vet school. So I was like, oh, it makes sense that I would do my undergrad there. I also looked at Cal Poly Pomona. I applied to Cornell. And then I applied to other schools that had like biology or like anything related to my major. And like, no matter how small, like related it was, I just applied. And I ended up applying to 10 or 12 schools, I think. And so then with Cornell, what I did was I did early admission because I was like, oh, I don't know how likely I am to get into Cornell, but I felt like if I was like good enough, I don't know why, I was just thinking that in my head, I would just apply there and see what happens. Also because it was like across the country and I wanted to stay in California, that was also the only school I applied out of state, because it is more expensive also if you're like thinking about that. But my advice would be to at least apply to one Ivy League, one that you feel like you really want to go to or could possibly see yourself going to, because don't limit yourself to think like, oh, that's an Ivy League, there's no way because of my grades or my test scores or whatever the case may be. Like, you just never know what's going to be that one thing that triggers them to be like, you're a good candidate. So I would say, if anything, add at least one Ivy to your list. You just never know what happens. I say don't worry about the money. I remember when my class was applying, all the teachers were saying, don't worry about the money, don't worry about the money. And I understand for many of you, like, that is a concern, but I mean, at least put it on the table, because one way or another, there's opportunities and programs, scholarships, grants, anything that can help you reach your dreams. So that's one thing. And then, yeah, apply to as many UCs, state schools, like, apply to whatever you want. Don't limit yourself, honestly. But again, money is a factor for some, so I do understand that. And then again, when it comes to majors, if you don't have any idea what you want to do, go ahead and go undeclared. I know so many students that have done that and have gone into really good schools, and it took them a year, 2 years to figure it out. But just because you go in undeclared doesn't mean like you're less likely to get in or whatever the case may be. So that would be like my advice also, in like broadening or expanding your list of
That's awesome. Thanks, Imara.
Just to add on to that, if specifically for Ivies, if money's a concern, they actually, even though they might seem like some of like the most daunting and like expensive schools, they give out some of the best financial aid packages in the country. Like when I did my calculator, I was paying significantly less than I would have like gone to like another private school that was like similar to it. Just like food for thought, I guess.
That's awesome. Thanks. Monique, were you gonna share?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to add on to what they were saying about not limiting yourself. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of just wanted to add on to that, because from my personal experience, I used all of my waivers and applied to 4 UCs. And I knew I wanted to apply to UCSD for sure because it was here, and it was basically like the school that was kind of within reach for me and that I really was like, I had my mind kind of set on. But I was told to apply to UCLA, I think also by Mr. Liu, just because it's such a good school and I did have a chance of getting in. Well, at least he thought that he believed in me. So I applied to it. I was like, sure, why not? Like, it could be like a reach school, and if I don't get in, then it won't be too bad because I have other options. So when I got accepted into UCSD, I was super excited. My sister got even video of it. I was like jumping up and down. It was like amazing. And my family was basically like, check for UCLA, like check for UCLA. Those came out today too. And I didn't want to like ruin my spirit. I was already on like a good mood. I was like, this is my reach school. I'm in a good mood right now. I don't want to ruin it. But I ended up checking and I actually got accepted. So that really changed my whole plan basically for college, because of the same reason. I didn't limit myself to only the range of possibilities that I had in my mind or like set for myself. I kind of just like let myself go out of that a little bit, kind of like dream a little bit, have that dream school. And I actually got accepted. I was very pleasantly surprised, and now I'm at that school. So it really did change things for me. So of course, be like realistic with your goals and what you feel like you're comfortable doing, but also like allow yourself to dream a little bit. Obviously use every resource you have. If you have waivers, use them. You know what I mean? If you have resources also. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in.
That's awesome. Thanks, Monique. And you know, just as they're sharing, like, I think the example, or you know what Imara said, just put it on the table, right? It doesn't hurt, right? And you heard from Edgardo, who applied to possibly too little, right? And put too little on the table, to Imara, who knew where she wanted to reach to and those different schools, to Monique that was like, okay, I'm gonna take one extra step further, right? And the more extra steps you could do, yes, like, it's crazy. you're thinking, okay, I get 4 free and each one's like what, $80 more or whatever, however many dollars more. It's like in the end, like those $80, those $100 for a Common App or whatever it is, could possibly alter the timeline of your life, right? I know it sounds very like a TV show of like The Flash or whatever, but it literally can alter the timeline of your life, right? Monique is now in LA, right? Imara's in Davis. Edgardo's going to SLO. All of our alumni are at the different places that they're at. And so I love that, and I appreciate that y'all brought those things up. I did want to shout out really quickly people that just jumped in. Andrea is one of the UCs that we're missing, and Fidencio is here also representing the school, another school. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Who?
Go for it.
Why is chat disabled?
I literally don't know.
Make me co-host.
Hi, Frankie.
To your introduction, Fu.
Go,
Okay,
yeah, introduction quick.
Yeah, so I'm Fidencio. I go to UCLA. What's the other thing? Oh, what made me choose? Oh, yeah, my name is Fidencio. I'm a bio major. I'm pre-med, and yeah, that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's good for now. Andrea?
Okay. I'm Andrea. I go to UCI. I'm a criminology major, and what else was it?
What made you choose UCI?
I know I wanted to stay in California. I know I wanted to go to UC, and I know I wanted to study criminal justice, and that hit all three, so that's what I chose.
Awesome. So moving on to this next question, I guess this idea, Andrea, actually segues us really well into this. How do you know what major you want, like, you can apply to? And that'll bring up some people that are like, this is the major I was going to do. And then some people are like, I had no idea. So hopefully we can hit both spectrums of those people. So again, 3 or 4 people that could share would be awesome.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So for me, I actually didn't know what architecture engineering was exactly. When I was like applying for the schools, I was applying for civil engineering, but somehow I wanted to change for Cal Poly from civil engineering to, it's called, we call it Archi for like a shorter term, because I thought it was going to be easy to get into architecture engineering than civil, but when I got in, they actually told me that it was like backwards. So I was like, oh, okay. And so if you really, I have like this advice, if you really know what you want to do, or like you have something in mind, just go for it, and don't like apply, don't like change your major if you think that you're gonna get like into the school. Do I like explain myself right? Because when I was doing the applications, someone told me to not apply for engineering, so I would like get like a better chance to get into the school, and I didn't listen, but I still got into the schools. So just go for it.
Okay, so I would say how to choose your major. There's a lot of factors, but I do agree with what Isabella said. Apply to what you want to do, like if you know your major. Because I know at UCSD, if you like apply undeclared just to get in, and let's just say you want to do like computer science, or like some sort of engineering, it's kind of like impossible to like go from undeclared to like engineering. Like you apply, and literally the way that to get into the computer science department, it's a lottery-based system. So suppose you have the best grades, and suppose that you have the best grades, and you want to do computer science. It's just given to someone random, and there's a lot of applicants because it's a very competitive major. So you might be stuck at UCSD and you didn't get into the thing you wanted to go. But if you had originally applied to computer science, suppose you would have gotten it. So really just apply to what you actually want, because you can't guarantee that you're going to get it based on like you change majors. But there's a lot of factors, such as like salary, like what you actually enjoy. Let me think. Like for example, I was never a math major. Um, I wanted to do a study to become a psychiatrist, um, and it wasn't really the salary that I cared about, but I know I liked math a lot. But I would have never majored in it because I know like math, like the only job for math is like professor. I guess there's other stuff, but like I would have never touched math if there wasn't like math computer science, which is like what I'm actually like good at. Um, so like yeah, the fields and availability does play a role. But if you don't like it, don't do it. I did like neurobio, but I didn't like it as much as math, and that's literally the reason I changed.
That's awesome. Thank you. And maybe someone from the other side that's like, I didn't know, and maybe I found, or I didn't know, and I still don't know.
Well, I actually went in as undeclared, like I applied to all my schools undeclared. And I just knew I wanted to do something with sports related, kind of. And so that's why I said kinesiology, physical therapy. But what I didn't know was that there's like 3 different kinesiologies. There's physical therapy, there's sports med, and there's also nutrition specialists. And so I would recommend to like really look into your major and like also look into like the classes and stuff, because I knew that there's going to be science in my major, but I didn't know there's going to be so many. So like like I already took Chem 100 and 200, and then I took Chem 200 this summer, and it's so hard. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I would say if you really, really know what you're gonna do, like stick with it, and don't let the classes like get to you. I know like right now I'm struggling with chemistry, but I know it's like what I want, so I'm just gonna stick with it. But yeah, also look into the classes too.
Nice.
I
Awesome.
just want to add something real quick. Actually, for Cal Poly, there's no like undeclared option. So if you like have an idea and you want to apply for Cal Poly, maybe had like what college do you want to go to, like engineering, and then choose like a major that you probably want to get in, and maybe then like switch.
Nice. Yes. And we'll definitely talk about that in pathways, just like different impacted majors and whatnot. And so that'll be something that when we get closer to the application, that'll be awesome. Really quickly, our alumni, how many of you guys have changed your majors at least once? Raise your hands. Okay, a few. Okay. You know, it's really not uncommon to change your majors. You know, a lot of people change it multiple times, and that's okay. It does pose a little bit of inconvenience, especially if you're like later on in your college career. But yeah, that's something that you can figure out and worry about. So that's all good. Definitely want to talk about this question. What's it like moving to a big school, or what's it like going to a school similar to the size of CVLCC?
I want to talk about that. So when I first, my first year of college, I realized that I had no idea how to ask for help, because at CVLCC, I feel like it was just so easy to just like have it there for you. Like, it's just like, here you go. But over there in a university, like people will not go to you to ask you, do you need help? Like if you need help, you need to realize that you need help, and then like go and ask. And not just in classes, but also just if it has to do with financial aid, use that to your advantage as well. Use like all of their resources, like career services. You can talk to academic coaches if you're having trouble in some of your classes or scheduling, or even if it's something like not knowing how to manage your time. Like there's people that will help you like go through that.
I think also going from like a small, that was also one of my fears and why I definitely applied to a lot more privates than I did public schools, because I'm like, oh, I want the classroom to be the same size as my AP government classroom, you know. But really, I've only had one or two classes that are more than like 200 people, given that most of my classes are language based. So there's like max 15 people in my class, which is really nice. I would say also that I had never seen that many Asian people in my life in one place. And like like diversity, I think in general, like I'm like, there's so many white people, there's so many Asian people. Yeah. So that was definitely a little bit of a culture shock. And yeah, I would say just it's just like an initial culture shock, but it's nothing that is not impossible to get used to. I think by finding your own community within that big school, you just kind of find your place where you belong, and there's not like this pressure to have to fit into the giant school, but as long as you fit into your little community, your little niche is really wonderful. So I think it's all about how you kind of take it on, and if you look at it as an opportunity rather than something scary, you can benefit a lot from it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think
going
I
on-
mentioned this. Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Okay, no, it's okay. So yeah, for me, it was really overwhelming to go from a small school to like a big school like UC Davis. I'm definitely like one of those very introverted people, and so to go to a school that's like, first of all, like a top 5 public school, and then the diversity is so big here. To give like a better scope, we have over 100 majors and we have over 600 clubs, including like Greek life and all that. So it's a pretty big school. Just for undergrad. That doesn't even include like all the professional schools we have here and all the graduates. So there's like definitely a lot of overlap, but what I liked most is because of all those what was I gonna say, clubs, it's really easy to just find a small community within the school that you can really connect to. I ended up finding 3. One was like a religion-based one was a like woman empowerment Latina one, and then a third was well, major related, so like pre-vet at the time when I was, things like that. So it's really, you can get really specific with it depending on your options, and that's one way to really build community when you're moving to a big school and dealing with the culture shock. I was gonna make another point, but you know what, it's fine. That's just the point of that.
Oh, for me, actually, it was a little bit harder than I thought because of the language, because of the English. Because in Cal Poly, I would just like speak Spanish, and I would only speak English unless like if the case required it. And when I went to Cal Poly, it's like, oh, with whom am I going to talk like in Spanish or like stuff like that? I've like when I like during my first week, sorry, I was like, wow, I haven't speak like a lot of Spanish like with my friends and like the way I used to do it at Cal Poly. But then about the culture shock, it was actually I haven't seen like a lot of it's a lot of white people in Cal Poly, so I was like, wow. I was like, this is nothing like Cal Poly or like where I come from. But with like the time you get used to it. And I remember who said it, but one of the Cal Poly alumni once said that as a Latinos, we're like magnets and we find each other, and that's actually true. Now I have like a lot of Latinos friends.
I think too. Yeah, I think that's awesome, Isabella. For me specifically, if any one of you might be like worried that I don't know if the class is going to be too large for me, especially like the GE classes, which can get pretty big. Look into honors programs or specific scholar programs that might be offered at your schools, because a lot of times they'll like put you into a community. Like you won't have the time to find a community. It's like they'll put you in a community, and you're being offered like a lot of very small classes where you can really personalize with your professor, find someone I think the way that they put it was like you can find people to do research with, internship opportunities, like a lot of that stuff. And I think it's really cool because I know that I was talking about Syracuse earlier, and Syracuse also offered the same thing to me. So I know that it's just not just for like one school. And
Awesome. Moving on, and we only have about 12 more minutes just to honor time. But hopefully we can do this again some other time and just like talk through some of these questions. One of the things is, if you could choose another college, what would that look like? Would you not? Would you stay? And maybe try to keep this one short.
I can answer that one. So, listen, I have my own issues with USD. Like right now, we're like in pretty like hot waters because of the scandals that they're currently involved with. However, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, would I have changed my decision? The answer is no, because it's like this is something I tell like most like seniors in high school, that always go with your gut, and always like, you're not gonna, you might regret it, but you make your decisions based on what was right for you at the moment. And for me at the moment, USD was like the right choice just because of my financial aid. It was the school I really wanted to go to. So like the fact that I even got in, like that was kind of surprising to me because I thought I wasn't. Um, the fact that I'm here like is also just so crazy to me because I never pictured myself in this type of environment. So like I know it's scary, and like picking one school for like 4 years sounds like insane, but always go with your gut. Like you just have to trust it. And I know someone asked, how did you know your school was the one? I knew from the very beginning I wanted to go to USD. And I know like Imara was saying, like, sometimes you have to push yourself and do it. Like go, like just please trust your gut. Like I cannot stress this enough. Like please do it.
I feel as if I can add on to this, because I'm at UCSD, right? But like, let's say I got into a more prestigious school, like UCLA or Berkeley. I would have definitely chosen, the one with the higher prestige. But now with like my year in college and like diving into my major more, I realized that like my career in like academia, like it's not going to be like 4 years, So it's like realizing like your like career that you want to get into, or like once you make that realization, like you understand like where you want to go and what you can do after like the first 4 years. So it's like pursuing that doctorate. Like there's like at Berkeley, for example, there's a professor that I like over there, and he was like the former Secretary of Labor under the Clinton administration, and he's like my favorite econ professor. And I've never met the guy, but I want to go just because of him. So it's stuff like that, That's all I can add to it, pretty much.
Awesome. Anyone else? It's a very hypothetical question, so it's kind of fun to.
Yeah, I think when I like if you ask me that question now, and I have had the time to finish, my first year, well, finish because it was online, but looking back at just the friendships and memories that I've made up there, I don't know. I think choosing this school was honestly the best choice for me because it gave me a sense of independence. It's just like given me so much faith in myself and the abilities that I have and the things that I can accomplish, and knowing that I made it by myself somewhere that I've never been before. I had never even gone to the school before I picked it. It's just like it makes me think that I could have never picked another school. It's like I picked this path, and it's the path that I was meant to be on. And I remember all the counselors telling you, like this is your path. Like it was meant to be if you get rejected from this one school. But really, it's like you're not gonna reminisce on the schools that you got rejected on. You're going to reminisce on the memories you made in the school that you're at. And I think that's probably one of the more important things you should focus on.
Yeah, I'll hop in because I haven't talked that much. But yeah, knowing what I know now about UCLA, I would definitely have stick to it because you know, for a community like the pre-med community, it's known to like anywhere else, like there's like a lot of toxic people, and in UCLA you don't really find that toxic community. It's more of like, oh, we're all in this together, like we hate the professors, we hate the classes, and that's like how we like rejoice. But yeah, UCLA has been like a wonderful experience overall. You know, it has basically everything that I wanted. I never really put much thought into applying to UCLA. I just applied just because of applying, because I wanted to go to another school. Um, and I did everything to get to that school, but then I got rejected by the school, and then I ended up with UCLA as my second choice. And I just went with it because like, oh, it's the best one I could go to. And so yeah, like knowing what I know now, I would have definitely picked UCLA over the other school.
That's awesome. Thanks, Fidencio. Fun fact, y'all. I had to actually physically go to UCLA to verify that Fidencio went to UCLA because on his college signing day, he wore a Southwestern shirt. And then obviously he's like, oh, I'll go to UCLA. And then he either lied to some of his friends saying that he actually didn't get in, that he's going to Southwestern or whatever. And so I actually had to physically go to Fidencio, like, you know, he swiped me like a Bruin shake or something like that. And I was like, okay, so he is an actual student. So that's just a fun.
Mr. Liu actually went for a badminton tournament. So
I went to visit you.
You don't even have to actually go there. You can just have him like send you a photo of him at UCLA.
Man, you don't know how crafty Fidencio is. Fidencio he'll probably Photoshop something or whatever.
Yeah, so he's gonna drive to UCLA just to take a selfie.
Hey, to keep it up, I don't know. But anyway, so it was really it was cool. So we're gonna wrap up with this one question. I know there's a few questions in terms of like there was a how do you know what school, and I think some of you guys have touched upon that a little bit. I would love to have you all, you know, hop into a Pathways class. I think I'm planning on doing this every other week. So just like a 7 to 8:30 kind of thing, and you know, kind of thing, and have that as a Pathways kind of deal. So I know a big reason why y'all jumped into this because you probably would have valued this in your time, and so I appreciate y'all again. I can't say that enough. But the last question that I would love for y'all to share about is what's something you know now that you wish you knew before you applied?
I didn't know about the diversity, but it's good. Yeah, I actually, for me, I've learned a lot because I've been always around like Latinos and Mexican people, and when I learned a lot about like Asian culture and like about like other cultures in general, so it's kind of good.
That's awesome. Thanks. Oh, and really quickly, if everyone could possibly answer it, if you feel comfortable, I'm not going to obviously force anyone, but I'd love for everyone to hear your voice one more time. You know, if you want to just say what college you went to again, and so that seniors, if you're planning on applying to any of these schools, I'll verify with our alumni. But if these are people that I would trust for you to contact and, you know, get some input, and I'm sure most of them are down totally for that. So
can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. So what's something you know now that you wish you knew before you applied?
To our like specific school, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Or applied to college in general. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew more about like financial aid and stuff like that. Merced is known to be one of I think it's the UC that gives the most financial aid. However, I don't qualify for financial aid, so I had to kind of figure all of that stuff out. And initially, I was able to get away with like not getting loans. However, now I have begun that process of taking out my first loans and such. And it really is kind of like shocking just like how much you actually have to pay for. And it's kind of ridiculous, but it's a reality. And so keep in mind, like if you live off campus, I currently live off campus and I'm paying $450 a month, which is actually really cheap. And so there's that. And then you also have to think about books and any possibly any other like luxuries that you might give to yourself. So always think about that. I would recommend living off campus towards the end of your college career, just so you can have that experience. And so yeah, always like look into financial aid. Talk to people that know about this. Talk to financial aid offices. Try to get any kind of free money that you might be able to get, scholarships, grants, or whatever it may. Always look into that.
All right, for me, I just wish I applied it more, but I guess that's like I've been talking about that for a while. But I guess something else maybe is that I was stressing myself out at first about not how to be able to pay for things and like how scholarships would play into it. And then once I got my acceptances and like went in through like the enrollment process and stuff, I realized that once you're in college, there's so many more scholarship opportunities. Like for specific majors, like if you're college, there's a bunch of scholarship opportunities. So don't stress too much if you didn't get as much scholarships your first year. There's always going to be more opportunities.
I think for me, like something I wish I would have known is I should have done more like research on like background research on the schools. Like sometimes schools like this goes into like diversity, like Isabel was talking about. Um, some schools say that they're really diverse and they give you like an overall estimate. However, like if you actually look at the numbers and you really break it down, like you see like the reality of it. If that's something that's important to you, like I would for sure look into that. Some schools tend to hide their numbers, but you should always like press them and just like really ask those questions. Also about financial aid, don't be like just don't be scared to ask any questions because the schools like they have to tell you the truth about it. You're the one that's giving them their money, or yeah, you're the one that's paying for it. You're the student, so yeah, don't be scared to ask questions.
I would say that I wish I had known more about like the resources. Like there are so many resources here, like it's ridiculous. Like there's so many like different like advisors that I have. So I have a major advisor, a faculty advisor, my college advisors. Then like there's a Chicanx Success Center, so there's like advisors there. Like there's just so many resources, and those are just advisors. Then there's like tutoring, writing centers. God, there's just so many that I wish I had known about them earlier, because when I was struggling through a lot of classes, I didn't reach out because again I'm very introverted and I didn't know, or I just for whatever reason I didn't do that. But really look into what resources are out there and offered to you and what you have access to. Like for example, here there's something called STEP, and so that's like an EOP thing, where you apply and like you can start. It's like a test run of what college is gonna look like, for like low income students, from underrepresented backgrounds. And so they pretty much bring you in over like a month before school starts, and they take you through like what a day would look like. So you actually like take classes and like prepping, and then you get a feel for what your schedule will look like, and all that. And I know a lot of people who were part of that program. I didn't get in, unfortunately, but and that's how they built like their family and really connected with each other, and they stayed lifelong like friends throughout college. So yeah, just really look into the resources, if you're like concerned about academics or community or whatever the case may be.
Awesome. Anyone else? Last advice?
Yeah, I wish I embraced my culture a lot more when I applied. Like honestly, when I entered UCSD, I really didn't care too much about my culture and my background as I'm a Chicano. And honestly, like now I can't think of like I can't possibly see myself like looking away from that. I feel like it's very important to who we are, like as a group, and even in today's day, you can just see like a lot of culture is suppressed, like um, especially like Black culture and like other minority groups. So I think the U.S. Really like when I think of the U.S. now, I used to think of the U.S. as um, more like less open to culture, but now I see like the U.S. as a mixing pot for various cultures.
It's awesome. Sweet. Oh, go
Oh
ahead.
wait,
Alexa.
real quick.
Yes, do it.
This is kind of stupid, but I packed way more clothes than I needed to, and I didn't wear half of the clothes I packed. So don't bring your whole closet and your whole kitchen, all the pots and pans, because you're probably not going to use them. So
Sweet. Anyone else?
Oh, I got one. It's more of like perspective. Like research opportunities or like just doing research isn't lame. I'm just gonna put that out there because it's pretty fucking cool. Excuse my language, but like with doing research, there's like so many opportunities like arise, and you just get a good word from everyone. It's crazy. So definitely recommend doing research.
It's awesome. What's that?
Also, like you should, if you like plan on going into like the research field, you should look into like what colleges are best for that research. Like I know UCSD is like really good like for like research in like mathematics and computer science, and I know it's like really good for like research in biology, especially. They have lots of labs, and I feel like that's the most important part. Like if you're planning on going a research field, go to like a college that is intended for that the research, because like if you like choose like a higher prestige but it's not like known for research in that field, you might miss out on some opportunities. Like suppose I were to try to go to a different school because it's like harder to get into, so it has like a higher prestige, and I was like a bio major. I know UCSD has like a lot of bio labs, and you can actually contact professors. Like, but just like not a lot of people talk to professors and go to office hours, so you can really find opportunities there. Like my friends work in labs. Like one of them was like a chemistry major, and the other was like a nano engineering major. And like they thought like, oh, it's impossible to get into a lab, but like really, you just got to contact professors.
It's awesome. What's that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, this is for later on, but like I remember you saying something about take the teacher, not the class, or something like that. And I remember, well, this has like helped me out a lot because there's a couple times where I took a class and I just hated it just because I didn't like the teacher. But then I took this one class, I took Chicano Studies for communications, and that's like my favorite class so far. And now like I have a really good connection with the teacher, and like we still email and stuff. So I feel like just kind of remember that the teacher is also like, it's good to have connections and stuff. And yeah.
And just real quick, sorry. And
Mhm.
if you can join any club, at least one, just go for it. Because I didn't thought it really helps you about like communication skills, and you like build like you like get to meet a lot of people. For example, for me, I think the first club that I joined is about like a structures club, but I was just like going and don't taking it seriously. So then I met this friend from Texas, and she's an architectural major, and she was part of the board of the directors for it's called SHEP. It's Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. And she was like, yeah, you should join and this and that. And then she told me you should like be part of the board of the directors, and it really helps you a lot for like resumes and stuff. So just take all of the opportunities that you're given to.
That's awesome. Sweet. And I think we'll close with that, especially as we continue to go just throughout this semester and quarter for Pathways. A lot of things, exciting things to look forward to. Alumni, thank you so much. I'm going to talk to the seniors for a little bit. And so I'd love to catch up with y'all. Again, coffee, lunch on me. Hit me up. And if you guys are down to do another one of these for like another topic, this is really just to get our seniors a little bit excited about college, what that might look like, and the different opportunities, and how we as a CVLCC community have gone everywhere across the coast, which has seriously been one of the best parts and one of my favorite parts about teaching at our school, and even now extending over to the East Coast and stuff like that. So love that. I appreciate you guys. And let me know just how I can serve y'all, help y'all out, especially as some of you are getting ready to graduate and all that stuff. So love you guys. I'm gonna talk to the seniors for just a few minutes. Seniors, if you could stick around for about 3 minutes, that would be awesome. Alumni, thank you guys. Can we just thank them really quickly? I know you guys have your cameras off, but can you turn your cameras on and thank them? Love y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Go Bears.
Mr. Luke, feel free to drop like my information in like the chat or anything. So if anyone ever needs any like help or anything, like I'm always down, like email, like text, like
perfect. Thanks,
I'm pretty bored at home, so
Yeah, same for me. Anything. I'm literally doing nothing, so.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Same for
Sweet.
me.
Looks like there's a lot of people nodding. So thank you. And some of you already have told me about that. So I appreciate that.
Hey, Mr. Liu, I was gonna message you. So when I do like check, where should I message you? Like WhatsApp or like?
Yeah, WhatsApp or just
phone?
text me. Text me on my phone. Yeah, you're good. Okay, cool. Seniors, hey, I just want to talk to you guys for a few minutes, especially if you're by the set. Thank you. Bye, Petra. Thank you. Hopefully listening to that gave you a little bit of a sense of like wanting to apply it to certain colleges. These people, I will tell you, walking through their journey of applying to schools and getting into schools has been awesome. Unfortunately, I don't get to have all of them or teach all of them. Actually, I was able to teach all of them, but for you, I am not able to teach all of you. And so knowing that we have all these resources out there is something, if you're not in my Pathways class and don't have me or never have had me, and Ruiz just is forwarding this to you, I want you to know that you have the same resources. They are your resources just as much as they are, I guess, my resources to pull from. And being able to do what they do in the majors that they do, from social sciences to physical sciences to engineering, and from a private school to all of that stuff, that's at your disposal. Don't feel like you're alone. Okay. I know sometimes being at a small school or whatever makes it feel like I don't have anyone to turn to. I would say the opposite is actually true. I feel like we have more people to turn to than many other places. Okay. Other schools, like I was sharing with some people and to my class before, I was hired to go to a place to give college advice to people that I didn't know, right? And it was just my job, right? These people, like, even though you might not have met them before, they're from our community. They know your older siblings and your cousins. They know the teachers that teach you, right? And so that's super important and super valuable. And I'd love for y'all to take advantage of that. Most of them will give their contact information out. So I'm going to have like a list on my website that'll allow you to contact them individually, whether it's through social media or an email or something like that. And walking through this path is something that is big. Okay. And the reason why I value seniors so much is because this point in time changes literally your timeline of your life. You can walk the path to the left or walk the path to the right. You can walk the easier path. You can walk the harder path. You can walk the more fulfilling path. You can walk the less fulfilling path. Isabel?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, because I know that before you said that we were gonna be able to do like meetings with you so you could tell us if like what we want is actually achievable. So I was wondering if that's still gonna
So
happen?
that's gonna happen for my pathways classes, and anyone that just wants to talk to me about it, even if you're not in my pathways class, but want to, just Jupiter message me or Teams message me. That's something that's gonna happen during pathways, and it's this idea of like taking that extra step, right? Encouraging Monique to apply to UCLA, even though she's like, I'm not sure, right? The fear of rejection should not be your determinant of failure, right? So you need to be able to get past that. And it's okay that people say no, right? Alexa applied to 33 colleges. That's insane, right? I would never encourage anyone to apply to 33. Never, right? But she did it. And guess what? She probably got rejected more than she got accepted. And that's okay, right? Because in the end, it's not where you got rejected from, it's where you're at now. And one of the things that I really wanted to hit home tonight with is this idea of safe, target, and reach schools. So these 3 types are just labels of just to categorize schools. In the end, they're just schools, right? In the end, they're schools that you're going to apply to and you get in or you don't, right? You could say, I got into my safe school, but you can also get rejected to a safe school, okay? I've gotten rejected to my safe and target schools, but I was able to go get into my reach school, right? I got into most of my safe schools and most of my target schools, and I got rejected to most of my reach schools. But in the end, the decision, the more the more colleges on the table gives you a better opportunity to make a choice, right? Like you want to make a choice, right? And so don't limit yourself in that. But one of the biggest things, and especially for my pathways course, that's going to be something that I'm going to be checking up with y'all on. Safe, target, reach. Yes, they're just categories, but the reality is you need to have schools in those so that you give yourself a chance. Some of you know where you want to go. Awesome. I thought I knew where I wanted to go to. Many of our students thought they knew where they wanted to go. Fate had a different decision, okay? And in the end, unless, and I'll talk about how college admissions works, unless you're absolutely sure that that's where you're going to get into, I would really, really, really caution against applying to a few schools, okay? And so that being said, hopefully this was helpful. I'm sure a lot of you have questions. Please write down those questions, message them to me, or just keep them written down for our next Pathways class, or in your next Pathways class on Monday or Friday. And you're gonna have opportunities to ask those and to reach out to these resources and to to be that next generation. Okay. Are there any big questions that you feel, if anyone has a big question that they feel like everyone needs to hear, please ask that now. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds.
What's your website link?
My website link is mrlu.com.
Okay, thank you. I was wondering.
Thanks for the plug. mrlu.com is on their pathways, and there's sections for the webinars. Even I'm going to put a recording of today's on there so you guys can access that. Oh, what was that one person or whatever? So awesome. Great question. Any other questions? Sweet.
Oh, wait, yes.
Yes.
How can, Isabel brought up how you said, I don't remember you saying this, but you said that like we could schedule a meeting with you and you would help us like.
Yes, during pathways, that's why I've put you guys in groups. So I'm gonna announce the groups on Friday. So we'll be meeting individually via the groups.
Okay, so it would be during class.
Yep, it'll be during class.
Okay.
Okay, and hopefully those of you in my pathways class, if you guys can share your video really quickly. And actually, I guess for anyone, how many of you thought that this format for how we did it today was actually beneficial? And you liked it, or would you rather do like the morning? Yeah. So some of you guys would rather have the morning. Some of you guys like it at night. Okay. A big part of it, doing it at night, is just because our alumni, it would suck to have to make them wake up a lot earlier. But we'll try to make things fit for our schedule as well. So awesome. Cool. Sweet, y'all. I appreciate it. Mia, you unmuted yourself. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna ask, what if we're not in your pathway class? How do we like make a meeting with you?
Yeah. So if you're not in my pathways class and you wanna, meet with me, just shoot me a Jupiter message, or actually a Teams message would be better, or a Jupiter message, or an email. there's so many ways to contact me. Jupiter, email. On my website, there's a contact me thing that you could do that'll forward it to me, and we can schedule that.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Sorry it's been a little late of a night, but hopefully it was valuable. See you guys Friday.
Thank you, Mr. Liu.
Wait,
Bye,
Mr. Liu,
y'all.
I have a question.
Yeah, if you want to stay, I'll stay back for a little bit if you guys have questions individually.
Okay.
Go for it, Sophia.
I just wanted to ask if you could give me the contact information, because she said it was okay, of
Imara?
yeah,
Yes,
I forgot her name,
totally.
because she's doing like exactly what I want to do, so I think it would be like really cool if I could talk to her.
Cool. Imara is awesome, and actually Petra is equally awesome. So Petra is the one at
Okay.
Merced, and those two schools are severely underrated in the UC system, right? So
Merced and
Yes, Mr. Liu, and also for USD. I don't know.
yes,
If
Lydia,
you-
that was Andrea, and yes, I will give you their information. Remind me on Friday, okay? And I'll get you. That'll be the first thing I do for
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Liu.
you. Okay.
do you want me to remind you on Friday too?
Yes, please. That'd be awesome. That way I can get some time to like put that information together.
Okay.
Because what I'll probably do is I'll get their emails and their probably social media.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'd feel about me giving their phone numbers and everything else. So yeah, definitely. And honestly, at that point, after you contact her through email, the proper channels would be email or social media, and be like, oh, like, hey, like, if there's any questions, can I get your number? I'm sure they're more than willing to.
Yeah. Okay. That was it for me. Thank you.
Cool. Yep. Isabel?
Okay, so for my Cal State application, I accidentally, because you know how it wouldn't let me add like a term.
Mhm.
So I clicked the program and it won't let me unclick it.
Are you serious?
Yes, it won't let
What program? Wait, what program?
Okay, so not a program, like a major type thing. I was like, it in Channel Islands, anthropology, and I don't even know what that is.
Anthropology is a social science. That's so funny. You can't
Why don't you
uncheck
just
it.
close the browser?
It won't
Or you could delete the school. You could delete the school. You should be able to go in and delete the school as a choice.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay,
I have
we'll
to do
talk
that. I
through.
haven't done any of that.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk through that when we get to the Cal State application next week.
And it says that my thing is in progress, and I'm like,
oh my god.
It's okay. You're fine. Don't worry.
Isabella,
okay.
did you write the personal statements already, or no? Or have any of you guys written it yet?
No, I've already like brainstormed though.
Yeah, and Channel Islands,
You finished
Cal
it, Isabel?
State's is no essays.
Oh.
So
What
you're
Cal
okay.
State-
That means I automatically wait.
Wait,
What?
Anna, you
If
said
you're
yes.
going-
What?
There's no essays for Cal States.
No, the PIQs, I think she meant.
Yeah, because I asked, and I think she was saying yes to me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll work on the PIQs in the upcoming week, 2 weeks. So definitely getting that schedule out.
For Cal States, I couldn't make an account unless I put a term.
Well, your term would be fall 2021.
Yeah, but it was only showing up like spring 20.
Oh yeah. So okay. Oh, you can't create an account unless you do that.
I created an account and I was able to do it, but it just won't let you do anything else.
Yes, you're only just creating it. I just wanted you guys to check out the website and make sure you're comfortable so you're not doing it like last minute. Anna?
It's because my question doesn't have anything to do with this. That's why I'm
Oh.
waiting.
Okay, cool. Mia?
I'm just I don't have any questions, but I know that sometimes other people have good questions that I never thought
sure.
of, so I was just
Cool. Natalia?
Yeah, I had a question about the list that you wanted us to do for Pathway.
Uh-huh.
If I only found 5 dental hygiene or it's because a lot of UCs are like those type of schools. They don't offer dental hygiene program
Mhm.
or like any dental program. So if I found 5, is that fine, or do you want me to find more?
I want you to do more because even though UCs might not have dental hygiene programs, they have programs that could possibly lead to it. So, and we'll talk about the difference between Cal States and UCs in terms of programs because Paul mentioned this idea of research, right? And research opportunities. You know, sometimes you can get go to school and graduate with their undergrad in a specific major and then go into a dental hygienist program elsewhere.
Okay.
So it's again about opening up your options. So yes, that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Natalia, I don't know if you're willing to do this, but I know there's a school in, I think Oaxaca, and it's like, it's a whole school just for dental hygiene. And it's like, my mom's has a friend who her son goes there, and she told my mom about it. And it's like a really good school, and it's only like $10,000 for like everything, and it's like really good, and everything transfers to the US. So
You said it was
like,
in Oaxaca?
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Oaxaca
Thank
too.
you.
That's cool.
I'll try to find the name of it and I'll let you know. In
All
case
right,
you want
thank
to look
you.
into it a little bit.
Awesome,
Yeah,
Sophia.
thank you.
Abigail, do you have a question?
Yeah. For the meetings, since I'm not in your pathways class, I just wanted to like know up to like how long it will be until like I get a meeting with you.
I mean, the sooner you message me, the sooner we
I
can
did
set it up.
message you.
You did message me.
Yeah.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You messaged me like a few days ago. Let's talk. Do you have a free period tomorrow?
Tomorrow? No,
Friday?
I don't know what schedule is that.
A day? It's A day.
Yeah,
What period?
2, 3, and 4.
Wait, what? Okay. I have a fourth period free period. So let's meet Friday, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Okay, bye, Abigail. Isabel, you have another question? Isabella,
Yeah, but I'll go after Anna because it's also not related.
Oh, okay. Does anyone have a related question, Isabel?
I have one that's okay. It's kind of no, it's not related at all. But it's because I keep on thinking that you're saying my name when you're saying Isabella, so it like trips me out a lot.
Cool. Sophia, do you have another question, or you just chilling at this point?
Yeah, same thing as Mia. I'm just listening to you guys to see if I learned something to your questions.
Okay, cool. All right, so no more college-related questions? All right, sweet. We'll talk more on pathways anyways. So, Anna, what's up?
I just wanted to know we had AP government homework for Friday.
It's just a Federalist paper, so we can start writing the essay.
And do we have to read chapter 5 for CSL by Friday?
No.
Sorry.
Till it's Wednesday. We should make that clear. Isabel, could you send that, or someone send that in chat by Wednesday? We'll do our readings every Wednesday.
Wait,
All right,
okay.
Isabella.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Sophia. No.
So for pathways, the only homework was to finish the list, right, of potential universities?
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks.
Isabella?
Okay, so I finished, we met, Misha, Monse, and I met for CSL, and we finished the email, and like everything, but I don't know if you want to go over, or do you like for me to explain things, or if you want to give me like feedback, because I know that maybe
Yeah, send it to my email, and I'll look at it tomorrow morning.
Okay, through a Google Doc?
Or an email, it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes,
Wait,
Isabel?
Read by Wednesday? Or my
Yeah, read by Wednesday, yep. All right, y'all, I gotta eat dinner. So I will talk to you guys later.
Have you ever gone to Canes?
Yeah, where's Canes? The one in Santee?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not driving out there.
No, I know. I just wanted to know.
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Lu. Enjoy your dinner.
Bye, y'all.